All right, everyone ready? Oh, we got one more in the back. Okay. Can I pick these up? One, 2, 3.
Work skills. So the slide above says, Yokoso Washinomiya e. Welcome to Washinomiya. So as I keep going, now you also have to be real. This is what you're not gonna love. You're lucky starting. All right, you guys all know the opening, right? That one, if you don't know, I just look like an idiot. But if you do know, so this is the part where Kagami is walking away from the shrine. Now, in a second, I have a picture that pops up on here. You also have to be careful because you are walking through residential areas.
Yes, because typically women are the ones who are going to be in more danger of assaults while in cosplay or just in every day. This is something that happens a lot, is documented a lot, is not documented even more than it is documented. But these are tips that anyone can use. Literally anyone can use to help keep themselves safe in anything. Particularly when you're away from home, not just at a convention. Does anyone here travel for work or want to travel for work? Does anyone travel for other things, maybe with family or just for fun? Go to Disney anytime? You know, these are a
little sassier. And I was like, okay, so, Fruit of the Loom, blah, 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 yeah.
No.
So, we...
When they're trying not to be racist, but they're also...
But they were like, listen, originally we had envisioned Queen Latifah would do this part, and I'm like, and you hired me? That sounds like a you problem.
You know what the funniest part for me was? One of the only corporate commercials I ever booked was for Mountain Dew. It was one of those aggressive Mountain Dews, and I booked it because I did an imitation of the Power Thirst video on YouTube.
Power Thirst!
No, I was like literally, my audition was like, Mountain Dew! You want to know what the final sounded like? Mountain Dew. When you want that fresh, refreshing, crisp, cool breeze. Like every take, they pulled it back.
I was actually coming to see you anyways, because Talk is my favorite character in the first Danganronpa game.
Right.
I've been anticipating you here since you got announced.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
And it completely slipped my mind that you did Draken, and then I heard the voice and I was like, sounds like Joey Scott. And I'm like, wait, that's Draken.
That's so funny. Do you want to redeem like your free print of Dragon? Okay. Were you going to get another one as well, or?
No.
Okay.
Thank you so much. How did you guys get into this series? Was it something where you started seeing the cosplayers on TikTok, or? Because I've heard some people say that they just are like, who is this character? And then they research the show or the games and stuff.
Sorry.
No, sorry.
I first got into it because when I got on TikTok, there's a bunch of My Academia edits.
Okay.
So I tried My Academia first, and then I saw a bunch of Junko cosplayers, and I was like, that's so cool. I want to cosplay Junko one day. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know where the game is from or where the show's from, so that's how I got it.
So what about Junko? Was it just she just is like a schoolgirl but evil, or because I feel like there's a lot of characters that dress like her.
Personally, she is so it's just really interesting.
Last shot goes to the sister. How nice. We love family on this show, just not Sundra. And you make
you went that kid directly belt buckle and take another one.
You get another one. I hit him in the belt buckle. I did.
Do you want to go by?
You want to walk closer to him?
I've been losing my entire life.
Well, I give you permission. Remember, all the way up. There you go. All the way back, all the way forward. Good.
That's why I didn't want to say anything.
And that's our panel.
I'm like, okay, this almost looks like a setup. But it's a horror movie. So I go off with him and I'm like, okay, what are we watching? He goes, well, it's a German film. And I'm like, ooh, a foreign movie. Sounds classy. And he goes, I'm glad you think that because nobody else wanted to watch this movie. I'm like, what is it? He's like, well, have you ever heard of the movie The Human Centipede? in the 50s, American horror films had a lot of nuclear fallout, nature strikes back with giant monsters and stuff. And so in my head, this movie is a combination of a giant centipede with a human head, like the movie The Human Fly. That's what I'm thinking it is. And I'm like, wow, have you ever heard of it?
SOB.
And he goes, you're going to love it. It's German. You said that already. I don't know anything about German films. I was about to learn. We sat down, he punched play, and I'm sitting there. All of you were acting, so I'm assuming most of you have been horrible enough at one point in your life you watched it.
No.
Or at least parts of it.
No.
Smart, do not change it. Yeah, I know, they're up to, don't remind me. We sit down, and for those of you that have seen it, I'm watching it going, yeah, oh. That's not right. No. And then at the horrible scene at the end, feed him. I'm like, oh my God, no! Apparently, I'm only doing that inside because the voice actor's still eating popcorn, looking at the screen, looking at me, going, pretty good, right? Pretty good. I'm like, ooh, and it finally ended. And I'm still looking. My wife hasn't looked over once in 2 hours.
Oh, somebody's got a hot streak too. You've been killing it so far. This is quite impressive. All right, this is a double point question. Let's see, find the canon. Oh, which is not a team attack name from Ruby. Anybody who knows this, you're a true OG Ruby stan. This is from season 2, where we start seeing all these team attack names come through. So is it Ice Flower, Ruby and Weiss, Bumblebee, Yang and Blake, Ladybug, Blake and Ruby, or Red Dragon, Ruby and Yang? Which is the fanon?
I would say that Denki would see the villain before he got to stop it, just because he short-circuited beforehand.
It really would happen.
And what really bothers me isn't her in the film. Now, I will admit I'm not the hugest comic book fan in the world. I am more of a film person. But what bothers me is this. In the comic books, Jane Foster is dying of cancer. Thor loses the ability to become Thor. So what does she do? She takes up Thor's mantle. But here's the thing, it's literally killing her. It is literally killing her. So one of the main treatments for cancer is chemotherapy, which, by the way, is incredibly violent, incredibly harsh to the body, but it works.
She becomes the Joker herself. I lost my child, like, she just can't think straight anymore and becomes a villain herself. And Thomas Wayne becomes Batman to try to stop crime. They see it as 2 different ways to stop crime. One is kill a lot of people, then you don't have any criminals left. And Batman being, I don't want anyone to go through this again, we have to stop crime, just do it the right way.
Just in a cup in your hand, then you're going to put it in your own contact solution to soak for at least 2 days. So you want it to soak for 2 days so that way it does not sting your eye or give you like an infection or any irritation or anything like that when you're putting in your contacts. Okay, now we're going to go on to wig caps and contouring. So wig caps, like I said earlier, if it's new, it can actually, since it's sitting on your temples, it can actually cause headaches. So this is where the ibuprofen will come into play. And then
not direction necessarily, but informing them as to what it is when it's important to do so. They're not against it, you know. But I don't feel the need to information dump just because I know. I will give the information to the actor that they need or want, right? If I give the actor information and they feel like they haven't had enough information or they need more information, I will continue to give them whatever else about the story that they need. Especially with Black Clover, that was a big deal for me to stop because it's Black Clover, it's 170 episodes, I have all the lore in my head, basically. And somebody's like, oh, well, what's going on in this scene? And I'm like, well, and I have to like explain these 15 episodes. You know, you gotta limit yourself, right, on some of that stuff.
The last thing is for 200.
Oh.
All of you are so mad right now.
The name is worth 100 by itself.
Well, I'll give you 300 just to finish the lyrics. I know it says 2. Just sign it to my...
You should know what movie it's from. I know the movie's Mulan. I don't know the lyrics.
I got it. Hey, what's your name?
Are we all just sing it?
I think everyone should just sing it. No, Little Lady, behind Little Lady. Can you finish these lyrics, please? Maybe, possibly. Down to business.
I got it.
To defeat the didn't they send me daughters?
Where are you at?
Now, know it.
I have an easy suggestion for this. If everyone sings it all together, everyone gets 100.
Everyone gets a cue from Let's Get Down to Business.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's get down to business to defeat